Hi everybody, welcome to Love Dare Day 26. Love is responsible, and today's reading begins with these ominous words. Today will be hard. Take the time to pray through your areas of wrongdoing, ask for God's forgiveness, then humble yourself enough to admit them to your spouse. Well, this was hard in a way because again we couldn't think of any pressing issues right now where we haven't asked for forgiveness, and so we kind of had to think a little bit back in time and come up with some things. And one of the things which we've already talked about that I had to take primary responsibility for is some of the credit card debt, because like I'm the one that kept the cards for the most part and used them, and Sulojana didn't even know what the figure was until one day I shared it, and so I've asked God for forgiveness for that, and certainly when I shared with Sulojana, she was very willing to forgive and really talk about how do we go about taking care of it rather than saying like putting the blame on me. And one of the things I remember, I'm sure you've heard this before, that when you point one finger at someone, you get three pointing back at you. And so in a way, we realize that we need to take responsibility and not just blame somebody else. So that's something we've done. Sulojana, how about you? What do you have to share on this one?
Yeah, when I think back, I think I talked a little bit about this yesterday, with yesterday's dad. Many years ago, I think it applies to both of us. We were so stubborn. We wouldn't say I'm sorry, or I forgive you, and those kind of things. And I think I didn't think that was important, for us to say to each other.
We actually wrote a song together. You may have heard it on the radio. The one that goes, "Sorry seems to be the hardest word." Good thing we didn't sing it, right?
Now he's a singer. So anyways, we eventually, we went to some seminars, and we've heard from the speakers that these are Christian speakers, how important it is to say sorry to each other. And that's when we slowly started saying sorry, and then now it's our routine. So we just when I realize I've done something wrong, and I kind of ponder over it for a while, and and then I just it just seems like I want to say it from my heart before it comes out of my mouth. So I truly feel I'm sorry for what I've done, and so we just do it regularly, and get things dealt with, and so that if we don't deal with things regularly, then it carries through in all areas of our lives, and it shows. And so I've learned how to be responsible for the things that I do wrong, or that is causing problems, and move on.
Yeah, one of the things, like if I can get spiritual on you for a moment, one of the things that I've heard people say is that unforgiveness is one of the easiest openings that we give for Satan to get into our lives and wreck our relationships and everything else. And so that's another reason why we are very, very vigilant on this one, and do not get into the blame game and all that kind of stuff. But we're quicker, I should say, to admit responsibility. I wouldn't say that it's instant, but at least we recognize that if we do let something fester and not confess, then the longer we wait, the more that crack gets bigger for the devil to do his thing, and we sure don't want him to win. Amen. And so anyway, those are some thoughts that we wanted to share with you on today's Dare, and we hope that you were able to do this and clear the air, between you and God and between you and your spouse. And I just have a word for anyone who's doing this on your own, where you may not be able to share with your spouse, because I know what it's like, just to kind of all of a sudden spring something like this on them. We were talking with one of the couples in our church, and like she said, if I did that to him, he'll say, I wonder what she's up to now. She'll want me to confess too. And if they're not ready for that, maybe what you could do is just write it down. You don't have to give them the paper. Just write it down as though you would talk to them face to face, and that way you're admitting responsibility for your part in it, and you don't have to put any blame on the other. I just sense that there's probably a release in just even doing that, and I think God honors that. And we just pray, and you can pray too that the right opportunity will open up for you to be able to say it. But if you're not ready to say it yet, why don't you do that? Just an idea, from the wise ones here.
And the other thing the book is saying is too is get it right with God first, eh?
Yeah.
So I think that's very important to make sure I every day before I go to bed, I look back and I think what did I do that would be not pleasing in God's sight, and ask for forgiveness for any sins that I did that throughout this day. Sometimes you don't even realize but when you think about things, God will point it out to you.
Mm-hmm.
I just ask for forgiveness, and so that I start the new day fresh and with the right with God. And it's always will be a blessing when you do that.
All right, see, she always has some really wise things to say. Okay, everybody, we will talk to you again tomorrow. God bless. Bye-bye.